Hello and welcome to today's video. If you've been working really hard at your art and you're just not getting the results that you want, it's probably not because you're not good enough. It's likely because nobody actually taught you how to build an art business in the first place. Now, last week I shared a video on 3 things that you absolutely must stop doing if you want to build that successful business. And today I thought I'd flip that on the head, and instead of giving you negative things, I'm going to give you positive things. So these are 3 success habits that thriving artists are using right now in order to build their own sustainable, profitable art business. And these are based on years of working with artists just like you who want to get their work out there, they want to be making sales, and they want to build a business they're really proud of. And of course, make consistent sales doing what they love, because that is at the root of it all, isn't it, really? Okay, if you're ready, grab a pen and paper. Let's take a look at those 3 successful habits that you can start using today to build your own successful art business. So habit number 1, make decisions based on vision, not on fear. So this is the mindset that's going to shift everything, actually. Too many artists make decisions based on fear rather than tapping into that future vision, that 3-year vision, 5-year vision, 10-year vision. Where is it that you actually want to go with this art business? What do you see for yourself? And very often people say to me when I ask, what is your big vision? Oh, I just want to sell more art. That's not a big vision, folks. That is just a wish, right? Your big vision needs to be crystal clear. It's the type of life you're living. It's what it's going to mean for you if you had maybe replaced that income of a full-time job. What would that mean for you? How would your life change? Where would you be living? How would you be living? I want you to stretch it so big that it almost feels a little bit uncomfortable. That's the sort of vision that you really want to be making those decisions about. When you make a decision from fear, that shrinks your results. When you make a decision from your future vision, right, that's expansive, that's abundant. So here's some of the things that you might be thinking if you actually are making decisions from fear. You're probably thinking, what if nobody buys my work or nobody buys my online course? What if they think it's too expensive? Uh-oh. Definitely going to watch that other video. I will make sure on the end of this one I pop a link to the 3 things you need to stop doing, because it's got something to do with that in that video. So if you haven't watched that, make sure, as I say, stay to the end and I'll put a link to that on the screen. What if I'm not ready? And this one just stops you in your tracks, right? When you start thinking, I'm not ready, what if I'm not ready to build this business? Then that just puts you in inaction. You just don't do anything, you stop, you maybe create some stuff, but you don't do anything about building a business. But artists who are building a real sustainable art business, they have a different approach altogether. They've got a series of questions that they might ask themselves before actually making a decision to move forward with a business strategy, for example. So what are some of the questions they might be asking themselves? Is this aligned with where I want to go, that big vision? Because if you've got a big vision and it's over here, and you make a business strategy decision that takes you over there, you're not aligned, right? This is how to wander off on side routes rather than taking the freeway to where you want to get to. Another question you might ask yourself is, will this stretch my creativity? And I really like that, because if it's too easy, you stay in safe, you stay in the comfort zone, nothing changes, right? What if you set yourself to create a body of work that feels really outside your comfort zone, or you take on, I don't know, a mural project that someone's offered you. You're like, well, that's on the way to where I want to go, but it's a bit terrifying. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. But you see, what a successful artist is going to do is they're going to take that on and go, well, that's going to help me grow. That's going to stretch me creatively. I'm definitely doing it. It's on the way to my big vision. That's the next best thing for me to do. And it would be so easy at that point to say, oh no, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to stay over here in safety. I'm going to make the fear decision. I hope you see the difference. My 3rd question that you want to ask yourself is my favorite, and I ask it all the time. What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? So I'm just going to say that again because I love that question so much. I want you to really think about it and write it down. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? When you're thinking about planning out your business, you're thinking about where you want to go with it, you think about those questions. Is it aligned? Is it going to stretch you creatively? And then what would happen if you knew you couldn't fail? And by the way, this doesn't mean to say that you won't feel fear. Of course we all feel fear. It's just like the book says, feel the fear and do it anyway. And you want to make sure that it's not fear that's running your business, all right? It's excitement, it's vision, it's, concrete strategy that's taking you where you want to go. And it's a mindset of abundance. That's what's driving your business. All right, so now we've got that one done. Let's look at habit number 2. This is great. This is about creating offers regularly, not just making art, all right, or making a course or making whatever you're doing, putting together a workshop. It's about actually making offers to your audience. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to make sales. You're not going to see any money turning up in your bank account anytime soon. Here's the thing. Unfortunately, art just doesn't sell itself, right? Workshops don't sell themselves. Whatever you offer just doesn't sell itself. So it's really easy to stay stuck again in creating, but not actually putting it out to your audience. And it's very easy to pop a post up on social media and think that you're promoting your work. You're not promoting your work. You've posted on social media, and unless it's a really amazing post or reel with a strategy at the end of it, and it actually talks to your target audience and it makes an offer that we're talking about with a clear call to action at the end, likely it's what a lot of people do, which is take a photo, take a little video clip, post it up, and you can go, tick, I've done social media for the day. And you know what, it's going to do something. It builds awareness. It's a nice sort of portfolio of work on your social media platform if that's what you're doing. But that's not actually what we're talking about here. Now, successful artists regularly create intentional offers with a clear message, that ideal audience in mind, and a very, very clear call to action at the end. Okay, so here are a few examples, because you're probably scratching your head and thinking, I don't know what you mean, Sophie. Now, there are so many. I've got so many that I could make, I don't know, another video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to make a video just with ideas of what to put out to your audience in terms of offers, if you'd like me to do that. Okay, so I've written them down because I'm probably going to forget them all. So the first one you could do, for example, is a mini collection launch. Themed series of small pieces that are released together. And this is great for urgency and storytelling. So for example, you've created, I don't know, 6 10 by 10s, 12 by 12s, 8 by 8s, however you work, and it's got a theme to it. You created this little body of work and you want to let your email list know about it, let social media know about it. You want to talk about it generally and you want to share it out to your audience, and likely you're going to have a deadline on the end of it. These are available for the next 5 days at this price. Buy 1, buy 3, buy 5, you get the idea. The next one is actually a pre-sale of a new body of work, and I really like this idea actually. You want to show behind the scenes and then offer first access before it actually drops. So sometimes you can actually be saying, okay, this is the collection, this is how it's coming together. You know how you buy buildings off plan. Lots of people buy a home for a lot of money without actually seeing the finished home. So this is kind of the same sort of idea. They can see the work, they can see how it's coming, they love you anyway, they maybe want to collect you. How amazing if you could actually sell something before it's finished. I bet a few of you would like to do that, right? So then there's a seasonal drop. So that could be something that you tie in with a specific holiday or particular season, if that's relevant for you. So, I mean, you can, you imagine if you do paint fruit, you might paint pumpkin related things, and you could do some sort of Halloween thing. When you think about it through the year, there are a number of holidays which will differ depending on the countries that you're in, obviously. And here's the thing, again, you want to stay in your lane. So if some of the holidays look really good for offering out work, but it's not aligned with your business, don't do it, right? I don't paint pumpkins. I do paint fruit, but I might paint pumpkins. That's probably going to be on the back burner for me. I'm not going to think, oh, I'm going to make a big Halloween off. That's not going to tick my box. But when I think about it in terms of florals, then I might think about spring. So I might do some sort of spring offer for florals. So you could definitely do something like that. So I really like this one, limited commission spots. So you could say I've got 5 spots available only, first come, first serve, for my pet portraits, I don't know, landscapes, weddings, whatever it is that you create for. So I really love this one too, an art day retreat or studio experience. So you could offer this maybe only once a year to 1 or 2 people. They're going to come and spend the day with you. They're going to come and try doing a little bit of what you do. You're going to teach them a little bit. Maybe you have a nice lunch, glass of champagne together. Maybe you take them out on a sketching, somewhere you go sketching together. You answer all their questions. And then obviously they're in your studio space. So the upsell might be that they actually behind the scenes could also purchase a piece of work or a print or something while they're having a lovely day out together. Or if you want to make it a real VIP experience, that you could offer them a limited edition print to take home with them as part of the kind of day. Sophie's brain is whirring now. So talking about prints, there's obviously the print set or print bundle. So you could offer buy 2 and get 1 free, and then you could curate it in such a way that it's 3 prints that work really well next to each other. So how to make a lovely art collection on your wall. Instead of just having 1 lonely print, you have this set of 3. They work really well together. For this limited period of time, they can get this specific bundle. Okay, so I think you get the idea. I have many more ideas where that came, but I'm also just aware of not being on this video for hours and hours and hours. When you consistently create offers, you consistently create income opportunities. And when you do that, you start to build your consistent income, which is exactly what you need to build your art business. So you're not offering something once a year, you're offering something regularly, month in, month out. Habit number 3, this is super powerful. You want to track your progress every single week. When you don't do this, you've got really no idea what's working or what's not working. You can end up having the blinkers on, and you can power through the week, and you can think that you've been super productive when actually you've just been super busy, right? You've filled the days. You think, gosh, I've been doing things all day, every day, Sophie. I must be building a business. Whoop, stop right there. Okay, what sort of things have you been doing? Have you been doing actions that are aligned with your big vision? Have you been doing actions that are money making, that are marketing, creating offers? Have you been doing that? Have you been speaking to customers? Have you actually been working towards generating income, or have you just been busy? Now, obviously we know that you also need to create whatever it is you make or build the workshop, the online course. That's fine too, right? We need to be doing that. We need to be super organized so we can do the 2 things together. So you can just question yourself. It doesn't have to be an enormous, great big spreadsheet, but you can just take 5 minutes at the end of the week and think, okay, what did I do to generate income this week? What did I do with my marketing? Did I actually get out there and do something to grow my mailing list? Did I respond to everybody who's asked a question? Or, is there somebody's email sitting in your inbox that you're too frightened to answer and you think, well, I'll deal with that next week? Right, you need to get on top of these things if you want to grow that successful business. In fact, treat yourself like the CEO of your art business rather than the creative maker, because the moment you put that CEO hat on, you're really thinking about the direction of what you're doing, the strategy, the choices that you're making, rather than getting down into the kind of weeds of the day-to-day doing. So in conclusion, here's what works. You're going to make decisions based on vision, not on fear. You're going to create intentional offers regularly, and you're going to track your progress every single week. Now, if you start there, you'll be amazed at what progress you can make really quite quickly, actually. So let me know in the comments which one of those 3 success habits you're going to start adopting now, right here, today. Not next week or next month, or I'll think about it, but what are you actually going to take action on today? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you'd love more help with this, all of this is the sort of thing that we do in the Art Business Academy membership. Now the doors are open again. It's had a complete makeover that I'm very excited about, and it's available again for you to join. So if you're interested in an artist membership that helps you go from complete beginner with no business idea whatsoever to successful, thriving, profitable artist, then you want to check out the link below this video where there's a page with all the details, including another little video message from me as well, so you can find out everything that's involved. Now, if you're watching this at some point in the future, it's possible that the doors will be closed, in which case you'll be able to put your name on the waiting list, and we'll let you know when the doors open again. Because guess what? We're all about creating intentional offers. Now, right now, at time of shooting, there is a little offer. So you might want to check out that page because the countdown is counting down as we speak. But like I say, if you're watching in the future, it may be closed. It will be opening again, so don't worry. And thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. And again, if you've got more ideas like this you'd like me to make videos on, please also pop those in the comments below. All right, I will pop on screen that video of the 3 things you want to stop doing for those people who haven't seen that video yet. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. All right, bye-bye.